Hello. I'm back again, and I've added a whole bunch of new additions to the game. If this is your first time on the channel, Ponpai is a tactical strategy game where you befriend monsters and have them join your team. If you want to know more about the game, the introductory video will be linked in the description. To get the smaller stuff out of the way first, the pause menu is now a phone, and it'll slide in and out of frame when you open it. The old white box with basic buttons was getting a bit old, so I wanted to style it up a little. Of course, the options are still Godot's default buttons, but I'll make them look nicer once I'm certain there's no more options I want to add. Once again, I added some more Ponpai. Skulker, Droutish, Bramblepal, and Primetime. Skulker's ability lowers the enemy's attack power if they're not on stage at the start of a fight, making them a Ponpai you'll want to keep in the reserve. Droutish's ability gives them a 30% chance to repeat an attack after they've been hit by it, which applies for enemy attacks, as well as teammates. Bramblepal has nothing new mechanically, and Primetime's ability raises their team's stats by 15 for the first 4 turns, giving you a significant advantage for the start. But if you can't finish the job by turn 5, your party stats will lower by 30, making you weaker than ever. I've added sorting options to the bestiary. You can now sort by the default order, alphabetically by name, and by their in-game classification. Rather than handcrafting a different list for each sort, like I did for the default list, the game will scan each Ponpai for their name or class, and reorganize them appropriately. So this means I can add as many Ponpai as I want, and I'll only have to add them to the bestiary list once. When you've reorganized them, however, pressing the next or previous buttons will move you up or down the default numerical list, and not whichever Ponpai is actually up next. I'll fix that another time. Previously, each Ponpai had 3 attacks he could use in battle, and I was planning for that to be it. Coming up with whole movesets for each Ponpai felt way out of scope for me. But a while back, a friend brought up the idea of customizing which attacks they have, and ultimately I thought it was a good idea. Each Ponpai will start with their 3 default attacks, and as your friendship meter grows, you'll unlock 5 new attacks that you can swap with any of the old ones. Of course, I haven't added anywhere near enough attacks to fill out everyone's movesets, so for the vast majority of them, I've made all of the unlockable attacks copies of their first default attack. Using this menu, you can also give your Ponpai 3 of the same attack. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I thought it was funny, so I'm gonna leave it in. Finally, I've added some adjustments to the story. Previously, I had Nico talk to the player right outside the apartment area, but I've moved that cutscene to inside Jasmine's apartment, which triggers as soon as the game starts. Furthermore, there's more of a conclusive ending after you beat the boss fight, including a beautiful photograph drawn by moi, which then brings you back to your apartment. This was all practice for how I want the main story to work in the finished game. Opening cutscene, go explore, fight a boss, ending cutscene, a photo of your adventures, then over to the next chapter. Of course, the finished game's plotlines will be a little more fleshed out than this. And that's everything. I'm glad I managed to get more done than in the last devlog, or at least the same amount in a smaller time frame, so hopefully I can keep this up. If you want to try out the prototype for yourself, the link will be in the description. Otherwise, look forward to the next devlog, where I'll be working on UI. Thanks for watching.